This is Appalling News. I'm Paul Chapman. Today we're going to have a lot of short stories because the tsunami of idiocy is so large we just couldn't fit anything in otherwise. First up, Joe Biden has won the Michigan primary for the Democrats. No surprise there. But while we here are not ageists, we do hope President Biden will make it to the actual election. But what are the Democrats' plans if something tragic does happen to the elder statesman? Because everyone hates Kamala Harris, we're certain that the Democratic Party has everything under control, just in case. The Canadian government, led by junta leader Justin Trudeau, is pushing forward with their hate speech bill, or the Online Harms Act, and quite the bit of terpsichore it is. Most of it has to do with online platforms curtailing the sharing of nasty things by continuously assessing risks, developing mitigation strategies, and providing tools for users to flag harmful content. We have no idea how this will be accomplished, because creating new, overstuffed bureaucracies is always a win. An online hate bill will be added, which will provide up to $70,000 in fines for so-called hate speech and even life imprisonment for hate crimes. At a time when our jails are full to the point that we are letting out the worst criminal offenders back on the street, let's put the elderly woman who misgenders a mass murderer dressed in a frock into solitary confinement. And certainly, this reporter will find himself in the joint soon enough. Chicago cop sues city for right to change his race after department allows officers to change genders. This is a much more interesting story than meets the eye. Mohammed Yusuf, 43, a 20-year veteran of the Chicago Police Department, is suing because of the CPD's promotion system that benefits minority candidates even if they scored poorly on the promotional exams. Yusuf scored consistently in the first promotional tier on the sergeant's exam, but was always passed over because he's identified as Caucasian. Now, to any educated observer, someone with the name Mohammed Yusuf does not sound white because, in fact, he's Egyptian. But back in 2004, when he joined the force, there were only 3 race selections: Caucasian, Black, and Hispanic. He chose Caucasian, and it was put on his official record. Now, the department offers over 9 different racial designations for incoming officers, but it is stopping him from changing his race to more accurately reflect his identity due to a blanket prohibition against changing an officer's race. But the CPD will let any sausage dangler identify as female, but if you've ever had any encounters with the police, most likely those stern shag carpeting fanciers would probably be making the switch. Now that early adopters have got their electric cars, the expected boom in EV sales has vanished. Even Apple has abandoned its EV plans because they couldn't make a lightning cable long enough. And according to the Green Alliance think tank, the blame, at least in the UK, falls squarely on Rowan Atkinson, who had the effrontery of expressing his opinion on electric cars in an op-ed piece in The Guardian back in 2023, which, according to the Green Alliance, had a detrimental impact on the cause. Probably most famous for his work in movies and TV playing the silent, obnoxious Mr. Bean, Rowan is not only a car enthusiast with a large stable of cars, he also has a degree in electrical and electronic engineering. So clearly, he is one actor who knows nothing of what he speaks. Mr. Atkinson advised his friends to refrain from purchasing electric cars, writing, "I love electric vehicles and was an early adopter, but increasingly I feel duped. He thought they were boring to drive and had concerns about the lithium-ion batteries. Mr. Bean will now be forced to attend a re-education camp. We can't end any appalling news these days without encountering more evidence of the toxicity of whiteness. In this video, a woman of color speaks to this woman of severe lack of color, who then talks extensively about her white privilege and the work she must do to be a good ally, but knowing her white privilege will not let her truly escape her white privilege. Apart from not wishing anyone ending up sitting next to her on an airplane, it did not escape our notice that the black woman without the benefits of white privilege is a snappy dresser and has got really nice digs, including a Tibetan singing bowl off to her right. And the woman, overwhelmed with white privilege, dresses worse than Dobby the house elf and is living in her parents' attic. Score 1 for the honky. This has been Appalling News, and that's the way it is.